29 to go now as the green flag flies once again. Haley, not a great restart here as Ryan C gets off to a good start, and now they're 4 wide going into 1.
That's it.
Oh, and around goes a 7, hard into the outside wall.
Buddy, hang on, hang on.
On the apron, the 21 of Anthony Alfredo was into the wall hard. He's upside down, sliding through 1 and 2. Looks like the 18 back there of Riley Herbst also involved. AMR safety crew will get to Anthony Alfredo quickly here. This will bring out a red flag as they will work to get Anthony out of the car.
Gets a big run, goes to the apron. Next thing we know, we're 4 wide on the apron, Jeff.
Yeah, everybody's got to go. Everybody has tires trying to get in track position. And Allgaier was just on the apron, entered the corner on the apron, and ended up getting up into the side of the 21.
Yeah, he ran out of, at some point, you have to make the corner. The corner has the banking. There were so many cars above him, he couldn't get up on the banking. It looked like he lost control. Take another look at it. Focus on that bright red or orange number 7 back here. That's kind of where the whole thing starts.
And normally you think you're going to get down here, you're going to slide up into the racetrack, but he just never had a chance to. Allgaier just kind of, I think, needed to give that spot up and get out of the throttle, but knowing there's a race win, if you can make it work, maybe ahead of you, just chose to stay in the gas.
And look at this car. It gets up on its side. It's sliding. You know, these cars have roof flaps that design them to stay on the ground when you see a high-speed rollover at, say, a restrictor plate track. But here, that wasn't really an aerodynamic thing. The cars aren't going at top speed on this restart. That's just the force of this car hitting that outside wall, throws it up into the air, and then, Jeff, as we saw, it slides to a stop on its roof.
Yeah, there was another car involved in this, too, that got him up and upside down when he did hit the wall. Take another look. Here's the 18 of Riley Herbst. He gets into him.
Both of those young drivers are having good nights tonight.
And when you see a car gets upside down, Jeff, it takes me back to the technology we don't talk about so much. From a 5-point to a 6-point to a 7-point seatbelt harness, all of those points that are added are down around your hips and legs for this reason, to keep a driver pulled straight down in the seat so they don't go up when a car gets upside down.
That's a big impact. Obviously it's dramatic when he rolled over, but as you said, Steve, the impact is what rolled him over. The advancement inside these race cars' seats, the limit of the movement of the driver is so important. The belts you just spoke about, the seat technology, the head surrounds, the Hans system, all of those things designed to limit mobility, to keep everything intact with the driver. Just such a different world today. And the wall that he hit, it's a safer barrier, absorbs energy. Just such a different world than it was 20 years ago.
You talk about safety advantages. Just this year, we saw that huge wreck with Ryan Newman at Daytona. One of the issues with that accident was oil coming out of the oil tank. NASCAR's put a valve in place to limit that.
Back it down.
You see this huge accident from back in the field.
All of them slide down. Got one upside down, so take your time. Go to the very top here. A lot of debris in the middle. Cars are gone. Cars are gone in front.
But Chase is going to be able to push that Atlanta car back out front, more wrecking.
And around goes the 95 and the 37.
Hard hit.
Into the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's awful.
Ryan Preece in the 37.
Fantastic. That's Ryan talking.
Glad to hear that.
Put the wind of it down. Man, that's good to see.
Yeah.
That was scary. That's one of those wrecks that when you're watching it, or especially if you're Ryan Preece in that car, the angle at which you're approaching that inside wall.
It was a violent crash.
Oh, Christopher Bell trying to get up in front of him. Then they make contact.
Oh.
Poor Ryan Preece. We talked about he's had a string of last place finishes, and wow, such a Junior and I in this booth, when he was heading to that wall, we were both cringing. Just not what you want to see, but it's good to see him get out of that car. Look at this angle of impact.
So violent. 3,400 pounds of race car just thrown up into the air after it bounced off that inside wall.
See the soft wall moves as it should. The steel barrier, foam, and then concrete behind it. Look how fast he's headed in the inside wall there. No way slowing the car down.
Trouble.
Big wreck. Here's the big one. Man.
Well, there goes half the field.
Sure does.
And it's Ryan Newman leading them around. Oh,
Jimmy Johnson's
hopes
in his final Daytona 500.
Kurt Busch, another former Daytona 500 winner. Brad Keselowski trying to win it for the first time, all torn up. Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola, one of the fastest Fords in this entire field. And here's Martin Truex, who couldn't get back to the lead pack and gets all torn up. Smoke out the exhaust pipe.
That's not a tire problem for the 18 of Kyle Busch.
We are, of course, under caution with 15 to go. Watch the outside line here, Jeff.
You can see Joey Logano really aggressive to the rear bumper of the 10. He's going to push him all the way up to the 2. And they just, right before the 10 gets there, there's a little bit of movement. And that little bit of movement, when you make that much contact, turns your car right around. That's exactly what happened to Brad Keselowski and the 10 of Almirola.
And that happens right in front of most of the field.
And that really all started with a big push from Joey Logano. Remember Joey Logano talking on the radio earlier about, you got to tell me when I'm pushing that car and it's going to make contact with the car in front of us. Well, that happened right there with his teammate.
Here's our Ford onboard camera with Logano.
You could hear he started to lift, but unfortunately Almirola's car started sort of swaying back and forth right before he made contact with the 2. Hooks his bumper, turns him around.
Oh, he slammed Alex Bowman. And then it's on. And for the second time in less than a handful of years, Eric Almirola ends up being knocked out of a good chance to win the Daytona 500.
Here on board with Austin Dillon. He even downshifted, trying to get that car slowed down enough to avoid this accident.
Lap 108, you're clear. 108 at the line here.
Oh, we got a crash!
48 goes around. The big one happening. The one's upside down.
Slow, big wreck behind you.
Kurt Busch climbed all over the top of the 41 of Custer.
14 car has the 48 car out of control through the tri-oval and gets into the left rear quarter panel and turns the 48.
Yeah, right there. The 14's pushing the 48. Gets him turning around. Now, off the right. Kurt Busch way up in the air. Fortunately, came down on his tires. There it starts, right there. That tri-oval, we talked about it earlier. That is the worst place. That's where your car has the least amount of grip around this racetrack.
And remember, these race cars are 3,400 pounds flying through the air like toy cars.
Watch him on front, right there on 3 up, record, low, straight, low, come on, straight, hold the brake, nothing's coming. Left, all right, hold the brake right there. We're just gonna have a little bit of damage.
So right there, it starts. It seems like it gets calmed down, but another bit of contact. Now the 48's around into the side of the 1.
And the 1's headed into the outside wall at full speed. Frightening, frightening view out the front of that car. As you know, that impact's coming.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Wow. Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest.
Newman gets a pretty good run to the turn 4, but now here comes a huge run by Ryan Blaney, being pushed by Denny Hamlin. He tries to go to the outside, then the inside. They lock bumpers and turns Ryan Newman around. Upside down he goes. Corey LaJoie coming along, making contact.
just lifting Newman's car up and over. And it comes to rest on its roof. Here is the second closest finish in Daytona 500 history. Denny Hamlin, the winner in both of them. This time it is Ryan Blaney finishing second. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the on-rushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over.